All right, I think we're going to begin our third edition of Coffee with Carlsen. How's everybody doing? Everybody good? I have a question. Everybody all right? You good? I have a question for you, all right? Last time I talked about Christmas music, when it was good to start. Who has got their Christmas shopping done? Raise your hand if you got your Christmas shopping done. Who has not started their Christmas shopping? Oh, that's why there's Amazon. That's why there's Amazon. Huh? What do you get me, by the way? Hey, it's good to be back. Welcome back to Coffee with Carlsen. We have some new people here today, so thank you for coming out. It's a treat. It's fun. I want to thank Bill McMahon and Fernandez here. Give them a round of applause for the food, soup and salad and sandwiches. I'm going to eat in a second. Also, you know, it's Christmas time. We talk about different ideas, presents. I want to mention Victory Threads from NIU. It is open, NIUHuskies.com. And I want to make sure I get it right, /Victory Threads, all right? So if you need any NIU stuff, anything, there's women's basketball stuff on there, there's a whole bunch of stuff, football that's on there. And Coach Carlsen and I were talking about, the girls, the ladies on the team also have their own, a lot on their social media, have their own things that they're selling, all right? So if there's things online, social media for the ladies, take a look, because there's stuff that they may have you can give for gifts, you may have for yourself. Coach Teaberry, cheats, Amazon, not just for other people, you have your own gifts of that. I know. So shopping for yourself. So a lot going on. Winter sports now are underway a little bit, right? We got track and field just underway. They had another good day in South Bend. It seems like we have good days in South Bend, which is a good thing too. Gymnastics had their red and black exhibition, so a lot of the winter sports are underway. Football, we're going to the Tater Tot Bowl. We're going to Boise. You ready? You ready? Famous Idaho Potato Bowl. We're on our way to Boise. Coming out on the 23rd. And then women's basketball's got some home games. Going out to Kentucky, though. Women's basketball's going to be home the 20th and the 28th, so come out there. So I think that's all for me. Looking forward to hearing from Coach Teaberry. Again, they're coming off a really nice meet at South Bend on Friday. But it's time now for Coach Carlsen to tell us about what's going on the end of November, going into December, and get ready for conference play in January. Coach Carlsen.
Thanks, Andy. You know, you guys are in for a treat today because one of the best in the department is here to tell you all about track and field, my friend Coach Teaberry. Also, on your tables, you'll notice that there's holiday cards. Please take those with you. Some friendly, smiley faces of women's basketball players, our small gift to you in preparation for the holiday. I want to start off by talking about two student athletes that we were able to sign early in November. You know, I think Coffee with Carlsen the last time was the day right before early signing, so I can't talk about them until it's official and they've signed on the dotted line. So we were able to sign two young ladies to be future Huskies. The first is Emily Sorensen. She is a guard out of Waukee, Iowa. Emily's somebody I've had a chance to watch for the last few years because she also comes from All Iowa Attack, which we have a couple of players on our team right now who are Attack kids. And so getting a chance to see her continue to play over the last couple of years has been a lot of fun. Like all attack kids, she loves to shoot the three, and is definitely kind of a gritty, tough, bigger guard that can mix it up inside. But we're really looking forward to Emily joining the team, an all-stater who can do a little bit of everything, but she'll be a great fit. And then we have another guard out of Butler College Prep in Chicago, Syra Conwell. She is primarily a point guard, also played on the AAU circuit, Nike circuit with Midwest Elite. So I only mention that because when they play high-level AAU basketball, they get exposed to a lot of different levels of talent and size and speed and all the things that they need to adapt to when they get to the collegiate level. So I love that they get an opportunity to play at that level. Syra can really impact the game in a lot of different ways. She's a great on-the-ball defender, can distribute the basketball, can score at all three levels, is really athletic, and so we'll expect a lot of things from her on the defensive end as well. So I think those two young ladies, again, are great fits to our program. We're excited about the senior year that they are just getting started, and then they'll be able to join us this summer. It's hard to believe that we're 7 games into the season already, and we have 4 of them to talk about since the last time we got together. After the St. Thomas game, which was the last game I talked about when we were here, we had a 10-day break. And that can either be a good thing or a bad thing, right? I think for the players, most of the time they think it's a bad thing because it just means more practice before the next game. As coaches, though, I think what I like the most about it is it gives us an opportunity to get back on the floor and really concentrate on us, right? It's not just about scout prep. It's more about refining the things that we need to get better at. And I think we were able to do that in preparation for the Chicago State game. A repetitive theme that you'll hear me talk about, and I'm sure this will hold true as the season goes on, is anytime we have multiple players, especially 3 or 4 players in double figures, usually that's the recipe for success. And against Chicago State, we were able to do that. Alicia had a really nice game offensively, led us with 21. Stoney had 17, Sid had 13, and Blue had 12. And then Stoney and Laura both were able to lead us in rebounding with 8 rebounds apiece. And Sid and Lex both had 4 assists apiece. So I think those are all really good numbers when you're talking about the balance that we need to have success. We also shot 37 free throws. So if you're a fan of the game and we're there watching it, maybe not so exciting just to watch teams shoot free throws all day. But what that does tell you is that we did a great job of being aggressive throughout the course of all 4 quarters. Then we jump back on the road, which is always a good thing. Probably our most solid all-around game when it comes to all facets. We were able to beat Milwaukee, a really good Milwaukee team, on their home court, which is never easy to do. Alicia and Stoney led us again, both had 17. Sid had 11, and then Shelby had 10. Also, as a team, we had 17 assists, which I believe is a season high for us. Shelby had 5, leading the way, and then Stoney led us with 9 rebounds. Then another great challenge for us as UIC came to town, right? So one of the beauties of a non-conference schedule is being exposed to a lot of different styles of play, a lot of different kinds of basketball teams, and I think UIC definitely provided that as well. It was back and forth, a pretty entertaining game, I'm sure, if you take away the last few minutes. But we only had 2 in double figures, and so when I evaluate that game, I think we just didn't make enough shots, to be honest with you. And this is a team that has been very good offensively, especially from an efficiency standpoint. But we only had 2 in double figures. Shelby had 16 on a very efficient night. Blue had 12. And then from there was some struggles on, I thought, good looks that we had that they expect to knock down. We expect them to knock down. Laura led us in rebounding with 7. And then comes the next 10-day break, right? Some of that was over the Thanksgiving holiday, so most of our players got an opportunity to spend that time at home. They had Thanksgiving and then the next 2 days off. Those that weren't able to go home, we were able to have a meal at my place. And contrary to popular belief, when given the time, I can cook. Right? Marta, what do you think? Thumbs up, right? Jenna, thumbs up. Okay, I get accused sometimes of not doing that. Not that I'm a bad cook, but I don't do it. So I had an opportunity. I thought we had a very nice meal. I thought it was definitely edible. And I got the thumbs up from our guests. So 10 days later, we go back on the road to Mizzou. And when I think about the Missouri game, you set up the schedule, like I mentioned, to play all different kinds of teams, right? So Mizzou is in the SEC, and the SEC in general provides its own challenges. For us, I think the biggest struggle was their length, and not necessarily the size on the inside, but the size on the perimeter, right? So their guards were 6'1", 6'2", and extremely long. And when I went back and watched the film, as frustrated as we were at times, obviously a lopsided score, didn't really feel like we had great offensive rhythm, I would pause the film and I'd be like, okay, we get to the paint, and then we usually can make this pass, can give it to this player. And all you saw were like ginormous arms in the gaps, right? And I'm like, okay, well, now I know, seeing what the players saw at that time, what the struggle was. Or you get a great look, but the closeout on the defender coming at you that is normally 5'8" or 5'9" is now 6'2", and you're trying quickly to get it off, right? So all of those things are just different than teams that we normally see, which again can be beneficial if you can not think about the outcome and think about the progression, right? So we did, Blue had 14, Alicia had 12, and Lex had 10, so we did have 3 double figures. Stoney led us with 5 rebounds, and we were only able to shoot 8 free throws, right? So it was hard for us to get to the rim with any consistency, and then when we got there, we weren't necessarily able to draw fouls like normally we would be able to. So this week is finals week, so they had a couple days off to really kind of hone in on making sure that they take care of the studying and preparation for the finals that they have this week. And then, as Andy mentioned, we have the opportunity at the end of the week to jump on the road to a tournament, sort of, in Kentucky, where we'll be gone for almost a week. So the beauty of being gone for a week at this time is we don't have to worry about them missing classes. This is a group that I don't lose sleep over how well they're going to do in the classroom. I know they're going to crush it this week. But it will be a good opportunity for us to get on the road for a lot of reasons, to continue to hone in on the chemistry and the cultural pieces of getting to know each other, finding that great synergy that we need on the court in order to be successful. So this is a great time of year for us to take an extended road trip. And I'm sure Lexington is beautiful this time of year. A couple of things as far as evaluating the growth of this group, right? As I mentioned, we've been in tight ball games where we have needed a bucket late, we've needed a stop late, we've played from behind, we've played with the lead, we've played big teams, we've played skill teams, we've played athletic teams, we've played all different kinds of teams. And I think what we are most thankful for is now when we get to MAC play, none of that will be a surprise. So when we see MAC teams that are athletic across the board, okay, we've done that. We can evaluate that in comparison to, let's say, UIC. When we play Toledo, and their bigs especially are true bigs, like 6'2", 6'3", like we've seen that, right? We know how to make adjustments and be successful against that. And that's really what you want. You want to be exposed to as many things as possible in the non-conference in preparation for MAC play. The other thing that I have this week that I really enjoyed is role meetings. And I say that because 7 games in, we want to be crystal clear on expectations, on what I need, what we need from each individual player, right? And some of those meetings aren't fun. But I think the thing that's really important is you have to have a fair evaluation at this point on where each individual player is at, where they fit in the puzzle, and then what it looks like going forward. What does it look like going forward this season? What does it look like going forward next year or for their career or whatever? And so really having an understanding, I think, also puts us in a better position to grow individually and collectively. We do have some good news. This is a group that always gets the inside scoop when it comes to injury updates and things like that. You're going to get a chance to hear from Reagan, but we are anticipating that we'll have her back for MAC play. So round of applause there. Definitely looking forward to that. Right, you want to go into MAC play as healthy as possible with as many bullets as possible, and we feel, again, knock on wood right now, that we're going to put ourselves in a great situation there. A couple of updates. Again, I usually do this. I give you, like, currently in the MAC, you know, NIU women's basketball ranks here in the top 3, or even individual stats. The thing that I would caution you about, and it's the same thing if you look at records right now, right? You have MAC teams who play a ton of Power 4 schools, a ton on the road, and then you have other teams that play a ton at home and don't have Power 4 schools on the schedule. So it's really skewed, right? You're not really comparing apples to apples. I like when we get into MAC play, so you can look at league-only stats, because that gives you a true indicator of where you're at. But a couple things that I think do stick out, and especially since we would fall on the top side of a tough schedule, we're third in the league in field goal percentage at almost 45%, which is really, really good. And we lead the league in three-point percentage at about 39%, which is good for 11th in the country. So our efficiency, and I mentioned this earlier on the offensive end, has been pretty consistent, which means we have players who can stick the ball in the basket. It's up to us as coaches to